Hi guys, we are here with Laura Niemi, who plays Marilyn Pearson, Jack's mom, and we are going to interview her. We are going to do a few questions to her, and we hope you enjoy it.
Hello!
Hi! Our first question is, would you like to share a little about the beginning of your career?
I started out in theater, so theater was really how I got my sea legs as an actor, and theater was something I was really passionate about. A lot of actors, I'm sure you've heard that before, and I always thought that I would end up, doing theater full time. But I live here in Los Angeles, and this is where TV's made, and this is where films are made, and so I early on started doing commercials to pay the bills. And then I started booking TV work pretty consistently. With my first credit, I was on a show called Firefly. Did you guys get Firefly out there? It's Josh Whedon show. It's before your time, I'm sure. But
so.
He did Buffy the Vampire. Well, Josh Whedon did Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all those kind of. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just started working pretty consistently in television.
Oh, that's nice. How old were you at the time?
I was a late bloomer because my background was in music. I was in rock and roll for many years. Whoa. So I played bass guitar in different bands in my 20s, and then I I was always involved in acting, but it wasn't until later in my 20s that I started taking it seriously. So in a lot of ways, that's a late bloomer for actors, Usually they're doing it from the gate, going to performing arts schools early on, So yeah, and I'm really excited because I'm doing a new project that's coming out August 30th on FX. I don't know if do you guys get the channel FX?
Yes, you do.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. FX.
So it's with Steve Carell. Do you know who Steve Carell is?
Yes.
Yes, we know The Office.
Yeah. And so I'm playing his wife in this new series, and I'm playing a cantor. So I'm singing and playing guitar. Do you know what a cantor is? A cantor is kind of a singer, a musician that's in the temple in the Jewish faith to bring songs of faith into the temple. And so I am going to there's a lot of me singing and playing guitar. So it was kind of a full circle moment to be able to kind of start out in music and now have the first time being able to do it as an actor.
Well, that's awesome. And it's a TV show, right?
That sounds good.
Series.
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's called The Patient. Awesome. And it comes out at the end, August 30th, at the end of August.
Let's see if the date's going to be the same here too, because sometimes it takes a little while.
Sometimes it takes a little longer. Yeah, yes. I know. A little delayed. But was it like that on This Is Us? You guys got it a little bit later, right?
Yes, but not much, like 2 days after. So
that's
yes, really good, because here we have like a channel called Star Plus that is from Disney, so was just 2 days of delay.
Not too bad.
Yes.
So that must have been hard. You couldn't you couldn't like watch the internet, go on Twitter or do any of that because it would be spoiler alerts, right?
Exactly. And all the actors posting a lot of pictures and yes, a lot of spoilers. So how did you audition for the role on This Is Us? How did you get the role of Marilyn?
This is a good one because I had known this casting director for a long, long time. And I was brought in for Marilyn, and it was only this very, very small role. In fact, I think in the beginning, it was just the title of the character was Jack's mom. Yeah. And so it was just a few lines. And who knew if it was going to be a recurring, if she was going to continue on. I mean, we always hoped, right? It was the main character. Of course, there's, that was always the possibility there. And then it started increasing as the seasons went on. And then got a name. I think at first, it wasn't going to be Marilyn. It was a choice between, oh God, what was the other name that it was going to be? That Marilyn's, I almost was called something else. And I can't remember. When it comes to me, I'll think of it because it's kind of interesting. And then finally I was like, no, it's got to be Marilyn. That's the period. That's the period of so I was voting for Marilyn. So we ended up going for that. And I just was, every time I would get called back, it was like, oh, this is exciting. And, of course, the actors that I got to play with, and then we kept seeing each other and became very close and just lovely. Really lovely.
There's a lot of roles that they do this, right? They called for one episode and then they are calling back.
Yeah.
And how did you prepare yourself to film each episode? Did you have a special routine?
Well, each episode was different and each scene was different. When I first got the part, I'm a person who really loves to listen to music. When I get a role, I kind of create a playlist. And so of what I think that character, what, really helps me in that character, what my character would be listening to, so to speak. And sometimes just things that I know will get me to those places. And, and during, when I first auditioned, I was listening to those songs. And then when we did the episode Vietnam, which was a very intense episode, that was kind of what was always, my headphones were always on during when we were right before filming. So music was some of my go-tos before some of those heavy scenes, getting really quiet.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways she was, it's a very insular character, right? She wasn't able to voice a lot of, what was going on for her. So that helped me also kind of get into that space,
Yes, that's awesome. And talking about this, was there any direction toward the character storyline and family history that wasn't shown in the series? For example, did you know anything else about Marilyn that we as an audience didn't know?
It's interesting. I didn't even know I had a second son. The second Nicky was new to me. It was new to everyone, so the writers kept, keep that very quiet. So, I mean, maybe Milo knew, and, some of the main actors knew, but a lot of us didn't know. Even if they did know, I don't know if they knew where the story was going to go or what was going to happen with it. So, when Nicky was brought in, Michael Angarano, who's such a great actor, I just adore him. That was all new to us. That was new to Peter Honorati and myself, that we had now this son, so, we were kind of learning as everyone else was. So it was exciting. A lot of actors don't like that. They like to know everything ahead of time. And, it's helpful. It's really helpful to be able to know those kinds of things ahead of time. But there's also something kind of exciting as an actor where you just have to play the moment. It forces you to play the moment of what's happening and create your own story of what, what I mean? Your own kind of narrate what could be, what I mean? So, and that's kind of fun,
You have to build your own character, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's awesome. So, as you were talking about Nicky too, did Marilyn believe Nick died in the war?
And that's that. I get that question quite a bit.
Yes,
and
yes,
I try. I try not to answer that because I think what's more interesting is what you think. What the watchers, what the viewers, the fans think. What do you think? Do you think she knew?
I think she, I think she believed Nick died. What do you think, guys? Patrick, what do you
What do you
think?
think?
Well, I think in the series, maybe they did that implicit that maybe she knew and they don't want to show that in a scene that I don't know. I don't know what to say because I really think that that you knew something that I don't know. Maybe Dan told you something, and really, for
Yeah.
us fans, it's a secret
Yeah.
because the series never showed that scene. No,
Yeah.
we have a lot
I
of interpretations, but we don't know much.
I prefer to believe that she thinks that Nicky had died in the war
Yeah.
because she's a mom, Nick's mom. So if she knew he was alive, she would look for him.
Yeah.
So I believe she think he died in the war.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that. Yeah.
And you agree
Yeah.
with
I mean,
this?
yeah.
I
No.
think
Oh, what do you, Chris? What do you think?
I think that the mom, the hard mom, had intuition that your son is alive, but she can did something and she keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like that. Well, it's interesting because a lot of family dynamics that happens, right? When there's a lot of pain and, there's a lot of things. And I think that episode touched on it so brilliantly where you think, there's a lot you didn't get to say, and there were missed opportunities, or the things that we didn't know about our family members. I think we're a lot more evolved as a society now than when, emotionally evolved, more so than back then. But
Yes.
so I'd like to think that we kind of know better now, especially coming out of this pandemic and whatnot. It's like, say the things that you haven't said now, because you just never know, but yeah, I mean, I think that happens a lot. In fact, I was just talking to my mom, that, one of the things that I think is a normal transition when you hit your like 30s is and I think it's really healthy, but you break away from your parent and you don't talk to them. You need to kind of just break away. And that happened to me where I didn't talk to my mom for a few years and she didn't talk to her dad for years. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to find your way, and it's this instinctual thing of kind of mentally severing the umbilical cord. Do you know what I mean? And it usually happens later in life. At least it did for me.
Yes.
And some of the people that I know. So I think it's very common. And sometimes it just kind of goes in that direction of,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
heal itself.
interesting because on This Is Us they show this too, right? With the relationship
Yes.
between Kate and Rebecca, and so
Yeah, exactly.
it's really common.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another thing that we are going to ask is your opinion. For example, there's a scene where Marilyn tells Jack that Stanley wasn't always abusive. What do you believe has happened to him?
Wasn't always abusive.
Yeah, it wasn't always. Yes, there's a scene.
Yeah. Well, I think I think it was him and I a lot that were able to, we're looking out for each other during those early years, when it was starting, and I do think, and they showed a little bit of that, where with Stanley, with my husband, with, them being involved in sports and whatnot. And, there was the other side of the drinking and whatnot, but, I think there were some good memories. I think there were, a lot of good memories. It just, they were few and far between as he started growing up, and, you realize your parents are really flawed,
Yes.
it's in life.
And how was to you to play a character who was a victim of domestic violence?
That was tough. That was tough. Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky that I had scene partners like Milo and like Peter and like Michael, who just are such lovely human beings and actors that they just create a really safe space, really safe space to, just, they're just such lovely people that you don't feel threatened in that way,
Yes.
So that makes it a lot nicer, and being able to but it's tough. I mean, when you're on set, there's not a lot of joking around. There's not a lot of, so those days are kind of intense, they're kind of heavy in that way. It's very, for me, at least, I need to be very quiet. And so it's intense, it's, you kind of have to shake it off before you get home, because it's.
Yes, did you have just the script, or you have to do some like search and see another woman, what they say about it?
No, I've had bad relationships and was able to tap into those,
Okay.
that weren't as very healthy, and so I was able to tap into that kind of stuff a little bit. It wasn't as challenging. It was just draining emotionally in that way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, it did hit a chord for me in some of this, in one particular relationship that I was in that wasn't very healthy. So.
Okay.
And I know you talk about Mr. Milo, and how was he as your scene partner?
He's just the best. He's exactly what you would hope for, and what you, hope the person that you're watching on such a beloved character, right? Yes. He's exactly that. He's just a very lovely human being. And I know that a lot of people have said how much they love working with him. He's my favorite scene partner that I've worked with. He's just, just so lovely and so respectful, and he knows everybody's name on set, and he's very involved in everybody's life, asking about their life. And, a lot of times in this business and entertainment industry, that it could be very self-involved, and he's very humble and the opposite of self-involved. Very generous.
That's nice.
Yeah, I love him. I'm gonna miss him.
And how was to film the episode Don't Let Me Keep You? That was to finish the story of Marilyn, right? Her death and everything.
Well, what happened was I got sick as a dog. I was so sick shooting that episode.
Oh, I saw on your Instagram that you posted.
Yeah, I did. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. I didn't have, we have to get COVID tested every 2 days. So I already knew it wasn't COVID.
Okay.
But something happened and I got sick as a dog, and I lost my voice for 3 days.
Oh my God.
And I could not speak. And it was just like, luckily those 2 of those days I wasn't shooting. It was over the weekend, but I came back for the final scene. And, I had gone to, like urgent care and gotten a shot, to relax my throat or, do whatever it took to just like at least get through this scene. Right. And I finally had this little voice, and it was like, oh God, thank God. But if you listen to it, I was so sick shooting that entire. So in some ways it was really bittersweet, because here I was so excited to finally have the voice, like her voice, was able to, like her life is able to come up. But I also believe a little bit, I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but I think there was a little bit of, not wanting to let it go, and just kind of being stuck in that limbo of not wanting to say goodbye to this character, that I've just grown to love so much. And, my body kind of reacting to it like protection. You know what I mean? Yeah. Does that make any sense?
The voice
Yes.
wants to kick you.
A lot of sense.
So, but yeah, I felt so badly for Milo because Milo, here's this big episode for him too, for both of us. And, I'm just like coughing and sneezing and trying to get through each scene. Poor guy, such a gentleman. Such a
Yes.
gentleman.
And about this episode, Don't Let Me Keep You. The last scene with Milo and Mandy, he's saying, "I don't have a mom anymore."
Oh my God.
God, I have no words to say about that.
He's
I
almost
cry out.
crying
The
again.
picture with Patrick.
Like, I just
crying.
Terry
His,
just
his the waterfall of tears when he. Oh, guys, I saw the last scene. I can't, and cry. Oh, so.
oh my God.
And we cried too. My husband.
Oh yeah.
Don't stop it. We finished the episode.
Too.
Perfect. So perfect.
Oh my God. Who can't relate to that feeling of like, I never can see that person again. I never get to see that person again.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God. How is that even, your brain can't even comprehend it, but yet let alone it's your mom. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, no, what's interesting is when I first read it, oh my God. When I first read it, I was in tears. And I reached out to Milo and I was like, oh my God, this is, woo!
So much.
This is going to be a lot to film, man. This is going to be a lot. And he did such an incredible job. I mean, if he's not nominated for an Emmy, he's so great in this series. But those moments, those special moments of, he's just a wonderful actor. He's a wonderful, wonderful actor. And, he took us all there. He took us all there. I had read the script. I had shot it. And as I was sitting watching with everybody else, I was in tears. It was like, I already knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? And here I am. And so was my husband, so I feel you. It was really heartbreaking and so beautiful. So beautiful.
I think it's one of the best episodes of the show.
I think so too. I mean, I really do. I loved the train. The train was pretty special too. I loved all of them, but for different reasons, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
For different character reasons. But I really love that episode too, because for many seasons, I think even as a fan of the show, like you guys, I was wondering, okay, so what's going on with his parents? What's going? I want to know what happens. What's going to happen here, right?
Exactly.
So I was so glad that they addressed that.
Yes, was the closure right for this story? So it was beautiful.
Yeah, I thought so too. Thank you. Yeah, I loved it.
Do you keep in touch with anyone on the set?
A little bit. Yeah, with Milo and Peter. Michael Angarano, who plays Nicky, he just had a baby, so he is, he's busy. He'll be busy for another few years until he gets some sleep.
Yes.
But I just reached out to him to say hi recently. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing about when you're an actor in this business for a certain amount of time, you start passing people in the hallways that you've worked with. You work with them once and then you just keep passing them in the hallways. It's kind of how it happens here. It's a big city, but it's a small town, they say, in that way. So I'm sure our paths will cross again, but it's forever something. And this is one of the reasons I love being an actor so much. It's forever the thing that connects us together, Yeah.
It's the same passion, right? The same love, I think.
Right. We'll always be connected because of this show. And that's such a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. And because of you guys, really. I mean, that's the thing that's so special, really, to me. Beyond the writing and the acting, the stories and whatnot, it's how everybody else it gives permission for everyone else to kind of share their stories And you know, that episode in particular, people sharing their stories about their parents dying, and you know, especially during this pandemic. I mean, a lot of people weren't even able to say goodbye, right? And it was just, I mean, what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing.
And we receive a lot of messages too from the fans. What the situations that they pass, some people that they lost.
You guys did? You guys received messages?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
See? Isn't that a beautiful thing? It's just so like how a TV show can bring everybody together like that.
We have a group
and
on
like
Facebook.
And all three of you. I mean, it's like, this is the coolest thing. This is what it's about.
Yes,
to
we
me,
met because of the TV show. We met because of This Is Us. So it's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, come on. How beautiful is that?
Come on. How we can imagine it? We talk with you. You don't understand how we're feeling. I can't even talk. I don't know. I don't speak English very well, and I don't know. I'm just feeling.
You know what's so funny is I feel the same way. I really do. I feel the same way because I feel like, oh my God, these are people that have been invested in the show. They probably know more about this show than I do in a way, because they've deduced every single episode and just really paid attention to every single character, and that's just it's just something to be on. So you guys didn't know each other at all before this?
No.
And we are from different states in Brazil too.
Have you guys met in person at all yet?
Just me and Thais.
Me and Victoria.
Me not.
Too far.
You guys have to have like a reunion.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Soon.
We're thinking about. But it's so much. It has so much people. It's so hard
amazing.
keeping
We have
in
groups
a place.
on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and it's a lot of people from everywhere. It's really amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
So incredible. Just incredible. Yeah. You should do some kind of meet and greet where everybody gets together.
Yes, we need to plan.
Everybody gets together to say hi, to kind of just be together in it all.
Yes.
And watch the first episode and the last episode.
Exactly. We need. So let's do our little game here.
Okay.
You have just to define the following topics that we are going to say, like a few words, and you have to say, like, in one word, what does it mean for you? For example, so we say one word and you say what means for you, or something that...
Do I say one word as well?
Yes, just one.
Yes.
Are you
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
We are mean.
Are you ruthless? Okay, here we go. Oh God.
So the first word is This Is Us.
Love.
Love. That's nice. That's nice.
That's a good word.
That's easy. That's easy.
The Pearson family.
Dysfunctional.
That's true, right?
Dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Complex.
This is a better word.
Complex.
And This Is Us cast and crew.
Lovely. Just lovely. Respectful. I mean, there's so many words I can say. Just I can't use one word.
Just one word.
Talented. That's another word.
And Brazil.
Ooh, food. Yummy food. Two words. See, I'm not a person of one word. I can't do only one word.
Yeah. Do you know any food from Brazil?
Oh my God. There's a Brazilian restaurant near us that is so yummy. I just love the spices. I say food and then I can't think of one thing that's Brazilian. Nice, Laura. But I just remember loving Brazilian food. That would be one of the reasons I'd have to go to Brazil.
Yes.
Yes.
We had a many food. It's okay. For example, we had a pastel. We had a coxinha.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Now I know a little bit.
Our hot dogs so bad. It's better than yours.
Yeah. Well, that's not a high bar right there. Our hot dogs aren't that great. Okay. Do we have any more? I don't think I can do this one word. I think I need like 3 or 4.
The last one.
We have a last one.
Okay.
It's a recent project. Stranger Things.
1980, baby. 1980s. The 80s.
I know, right?
Oh, the 80s. That was my time. Oh my God. Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
Yes, we saw it.
Did you see my wig? How could you miss that? How could you not see that wig? That wig is everything. 1980s. I love that show. Isn't it such a great show?
Yes.
It's such a great show.
It is.
We love it.
Yeah. No, 1980s. That would be my one word.
And just to finish with you, are there any lessons that you learn that you take with you for your life from This Is Us?
It's really, I think to trust myself. I think it's really that's the journey of an actor and a performer, just to keep trusting. When I think a lot of people, and you guys probably can relate to, we all suffer from imposter syndrome. Like, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. And we really do, especially if we put in the hours of our profession and whatnot. But, when you're working with such wonderful people and they're really talented, it's easy to kind of get lost in, this is, to just be able to know, no, I got this. So just kind of trusting in myself and trusting in my voice, all those things. But I think that's also age teaches us that, so for the past 6 years, that's been my journey too, as a person,
Exactly.
just to trust myself,
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
We talked about Mr. Milo, and how was Mr. Peter?
Who? Mr.
Peter.
Oh my God. He is an incredible actor, first of all, as you all see, because he's nothing like his character. Couldn't be more opposite than his character.
Yeah.
But Peter is just a lovely guy, and he's been in this business forever. He's just he's a veteran actor, and he's so talented. And I lucked out, man. I really lucked out. There was every single person I got to work with, either behind the scenes or in front of the camera, was truly, really just humble and lovely and talented. You couldn't hope for more. And it's easy to say, you hear that a lot, sometimes, when celebrities get on talk shows or whatnot. But in this case, it really, it's not always true. It's not always true. It really is not. And in this case, it really was. It really was. And I think it had to have been, because Dan Fogelman is a heart-centric person. I mean, he's just all from the heart. So I can't imagine him picking, well, he didn't, but picking anyone in his world that doesn't come from here. Do you know what I mean? Isn't kind and coming from their heart.
That's good.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody.
So, thank you for your time. It was so
guys.
good to talk to you.
It was so
and
nice
we appreciate it.
We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for all the love and for what you guys have been doing all these years. It's just really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
Thank
you.
We're
And it was so nice to meet you. Finally, I get to see you in person. Now I know.
Yes.
Now I know what's behind the This Is Us Bra.
Yes.
Well, it's nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Have
Have
a
a
great
great
day. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Nem eu sei de onde eu tirei esse inglês, Brasil. Da onde saiu? Da onde que saiu?
Cara, gente, pelo amor de Deus, cara. Vocês têm noção do que a gente acabou de fazer? Cara.
Ela falou com o Milo, meu pai. Acabou, tá ligado?